Assalamu alaikum and hello to all cricket viewers. Once again, I have a very special guest with me from South Africa. That is Ibrahim Yusuf, and we have a plenty to talk about the cricket. Ibrahim, welcome on my show.
Assalamu alaikum to everyone, and thank you for having me again on the show.
Okay, so for the viewers, I just want to explain the agenda that what we're going to talk about in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So first we will start with the England new team, the way they are approaching in test cricket, they have with the healthy strike rates and they are chasing a lot of heavy totals like 250, 300 and recently they chased 378 with then Brendan McCallum. There we have seen a new spark in England side. We will talk about that. Then we will talk about England versus New Zealand series, which was concluded and it was a quite easy win for England. And then we move towards Asia Cup, which is going to happen in August. Before that, Pakistan have to play Netherlands series as well. And after that, we will talk about some Junior Premier League that was to be held in later part of this year. And last but not least, we'll also talk about some cricketing debates, ongoing matches. So, and Ibrahim will highlight us about the 60 cricket league in Caribbean. That was very important format. Ibrahim will let you know about that, what's the format all about and what the 60 cricket is all about. So without wasting time, Ibrahim, first question I put on you. New English team, new captain, new coach, and they are getting the momentum and winning all the matches. What's your thoughts on that? What's new with England? Because it's the same team who's been constantly defeating in Test cricket and bottom in the Champions League table. But now we have seen a new spark in them. What's the reason behind that?
First, I think new management and players have been given the freedom to play the way they training them to play in the county. Mm-hmm. They changed the batting. Tom Sibley, Rory Burns are gone out of the system. They've got Alex Lees and Zach Crawley now who are the openers. More attacking approach. And they're looking to put teams on the back foot. How they play ODI cricket, they're looking, and T20, they're looking to play the same way. They're looking to play Test cricket.
Ibrahim, this can be like catered in both ways. Can be an ideal approach by moving towards Test cricket because we have seen the past that Pakistan have such scenarios of winning the matches, but they opted for a draw, keeping wickets in hand as well. But the new English team, the aggressive mode, do you think that this can destroy that exact test match format, or they should play like that to win the matches?
It depends what will the approach. The approach turns into finishing games in 3 days where they're dominating the opponents and winning by innings, it will be bad. But at the moment, matches are going to the 4th and 5th day, so it's fine. It is competitive. Like New Zealand and India did compete with them. It wasn't like it was just one-sided England win. So in that way, it will be a good, if that is how the matches will turn out, and it will be good for cricket. It will be more fun, more entertaining. More people will watch Test cricket as well.
So definitely, when you have a result, then more people watch Test cricket. It's become very boring. But now comes towards England T20 side. We have recently seen the ODI side first. They have put a 498 massive total, the record total against Netherlands. So they are not unstoppable right now. Is there a factor of a new captain because Ian Morgan was captaining at that time and they put 498? But Ben Stokes, people are considering him as a very aggressive captain. That can be a reason that aggressive approach of England.
Yeah, they've got now Butler and Stokes, 2 aggressive players, and both are in form. They're scoring runs and leading from the front. So I think that's just motivating the team even more to do much better.
Okay, as per agenda, I just want to told viewers that a bit about England versus New Zealand series. I want to cover that series with you. I have talked to you about WhatsApp about that. Just a couple of points on that. England versus New Zealand. How can you see that series eventually? England won that quite comprehensively. But just 2 liners that where New Zealand lack actually.
I think New Zealand, Southey and Alt were not as good as they usually are. They were lacking a little bit. Pace was down, and then I think the batting department, they had injuries. Kane Williamson is struggling since his elbow injury. He hasn't been able to gain confidence to play his normal stroke play the way Kane Williamson is known to play after the elbow injury, and he opted for no surgery. So it seems he still has discomfort there. And then I think they had COVID, players out with COVID in and out. The team wasn't sure about combinations. So it was a bit of a disoriented team in that series.
And what went wrong with the India and the rescheduled fifth test? The series was 2-1 leading by the India, and this test was very important for the Indian team as well. They played exceptional cricket in first couple of days, and they were totally dominating England. But out of nowhere, Johnny Bairstow and then the tails and put some runs and get pressure back on India and then attacking cricket again. Where India lack, are they missing there some senior players or the bowling was not up to the mark? Actually, India posted a decent total 400 odd, then getting them out, get a healthy lead, and then suddenly England won the match with like 78 overs to spare. I just want to do a couple of things from you. Where India lack and what's exactly going with Indian team right now? Why they are like getting so much demoralized, changing the captain very on and off, or England are too good for them?
I think the way they approached the first half of the test match, the batting and the bowling in the first innings, that was aggressive. The bowler's pace was up also. They were bowling quick, tight line and lengths. Second innings, in the batting and bowling, they lacked. Batting, Pujara and Pant were very complacent on day 4. They said, we had a lead of 250 plus. We're safe. They didn't play aggressive cricket. They went into defensive mode. And that's where they lost the match. And then the bowlers were lacking line and length. They were not good at all in the second innings. The bowlers were off pace. They were just similar to what New Zealand was bowling during the New Zealand series against England. It was a similar, they were just all over the place and it was easy for England to pick them. Especially Bairstow and Root in the form that they are.
Did you feel any captain?
Did
you see any?
England was just better in the second half, which counted.
Did you see any captaincy fault in Bumrah's?
First half of the match, first half was being led by Virat Kohli. I noticed that. Virat Kohli was the one who was leading. He was vocal. And I think Dravid said something. Second half, he said Bumrah must be in charge. And that's where I think everything went wrong. Where Virat was quiet and staying in one corner, not saying anything. And everything fell apart.
So as far as Indians is concerned, so first half went quite well when Virat Kohli was leading and directing the troops, but when Bumrah took over, everything was suddenly. So do you agree with Virat that he was doing a fabulous job in the first half?
I think having Virat Kohli lead in the first half, Bumrah concentrate on his bowling.
Yeah,
he needed to concentrate, and he was much more better. And then more responsibility in the second. It I think kind of took off on his bowling as well.
So as a neutral cricket fan, let's talk about Virat Kohli, a very like specialist batsman, and I think he has a lot of like records, and nobody other players like in recent past is near to him. But what went wrong with Kohli, and as a neutral cricket fan, what do you think that what his career is directing towards? Should he take some rest? He should opt for retirement, or should he play for the 2023 World Cup at home soil? I'm not sure what about everyone likes that Kohli should score runs because he's very fluent. He was a delight to watch. But what exactly went wrong with Virat Kohli? He is like double-minded. He's confused. He's too much pressure of the media or his own like countrymen. So what do you think as a South African neutral person that what went wrong with Virat Kohli?
I think he's thinking too much also now about not scoring a century because he was doing fine in ODI and T20. He's not averaging that bad. He's been scoring half centuries and putting up decent totals over the series. Now recently he is, again, I think people are saying when he's going to score 100, when he's going 100, because he put that standard for himself so high that they're used to him scoring at least 1 or 2 hundreds per series. And now nothing is coming for about 3 years. That is why I think now the pressure is getting up to him.
And what about his attitude?
And I think this England,
carry on.
That is aggressive attitude that he carries all the time. That's how he plays. And sometimes he does go against the team.
Yeah.
Because he motivates the opposition team to do better.
Okay,
like if Bairstow, he ended up costing India. I think they would have had a much bigger lead if he didn't sledge Bairstow in that test match.
Yeah, that's perfectly said. Okay, for the viewers, we have like the Caribbean Premier League, the 60s, and Ibrahim is quite like familiar with the rules and regulation, the formatting. For the viewers in West Indies and around the globe, we will let you know about that, how it will proceed. Ibrahim, a bit about the Caribbean Premier League. Chris Gayle is one of the like dashing batsmen, or he's just saying, I was just reviewing his like tweet that this is my format and I will like demolish all the bowlers around the globe. So what's the format is all about, and a bit highlight on that, what 60-60 format is all about.
60-60 format is basically a Chris Gayle show. It's everything about Chris Gayle. It's named after Chris Gayle. It's the Universe Boss Trophy. He is the ambassador of the tournament. And it's basically 10 overs, but you bowl 5 overs from one end and then you bowl 5 overs from the other end.
Okay, I was assuming 6 overs. It's just 10 overs game.
Yeah, 10 overs, 60
5
balls.
for round the wicket and 5 for over the wicket.
No, 5 from one end and then 5 from the other end.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Okay,
You just continue 5, and then there's 2 power play overs.
Okay.
But if in the first 2 it's at the start of the first 2, over 1 and 2, it's a power play over. But if you manage to hit a 6 in that first 2 sixes, you get a 3rd power play over, which the batting team can choose to use between overs 3 and 9 anytime between them. They can say we want to use that extra power play over if they hit 2 sixes in the first 2 overs.
And how many team members in a particular team? It's a full 11
6
squad?
wickets.
Oh, 6 wickets.
6 wickets. Only 6 wickets, and after that you're all out.
Okay, that sounds.
And then also there's a public. The public have a vote. It's going to be through the CPL app, or I think it will be on social media as well, on the Instagram, Facebook, and I think Twitter. You can vote, and there will be a mystery-free hit according to the public that will be anytime in the match. The public will decide when that mystery-free hit comes up.
And when it's going to start?
From the 24th of October to the 28th of October. It's only 5 days.
Okay, a bit.
Sorry, yeah. August, 24th of August to the 28th of August.
Okay, another series is also playing in a junior PSL. You mentioned that it's the Junior Premier League that JPL is named as, and Ramesh Raja is like announcing that. Just for the viewers, that the mentors have been decided: Shahid Afridi, Shoaib Malik, Darren Samin, and Javed Mehdat. And it's the first time happening at under 19 level, and people from all around the globe, creating nations, will join Pakistan to play a small UK that PSL or junior PSL named as JPL. I will keep you updated on that. Final thoughts, Ibrahim, regarding Asia Cup, which is going to play in August, and a big match has been Pakistan versus India, 28th March. All eyes on that. What's your thought on Asia Cup? Considering Sri Lankan conditions, Sri Lanka is very tough. They recently beat Australia, and Bangladesh is also doing good. So, what's your thought that, keeping Sri Lankan teams in mind, overall Asian teams in mind? Who do you think has more balanced squad and have a chance to grab the trophy, being a neutral person?
Me. 3 teams between Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan. Sri Lanka, if the conditions turn, Bangladesh hasn't been doing that well in T20. The success is more 50 over. T20 and Test is still struggling. So Afghanistan.
Asia Cup is basically a T20 format, right?
Yeah, T20.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, fine. So you are rating Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan.
Next year Asia Cup in Pakistan is 50 overs.
50 overs. That will be in 2000?
Next year in Pakistan, 2020.
Next year. Okay. So Ibrahim, just for a concluding remarks, World Cup T20 is not that far away in Australia, and teams are basically compositioning their sides, and they are trying to get the best possible combination. So how do you think that Australian wickets, we have recently seen that England have to come Pakistan, New Zealand have to visit Pakistan when World Cup is in October, right before that. So do you think that putting wickets like Australia in Pakistan will help Pakistan team? Like I have heard the news that they are doing some different wickets from Australia, which are basically routine wickets, and they can like get practice on that and get familiar with the conditions. So what thinks about that?
It might play in favor if they make it too flat with England with the 70-20s, because England like to play on the flatter wickets. They like to play their strokes with that aggressive. But if there's a bit for the bowlers, maybe the new ball, they could rattle England. But it will be a good practice because it will get them ready for Australia. And then they are going to New Zealand in the end of September for the tri-series with Bangladesh and New Zealand. So there will be that side. So more seam and pace conditions, Pakistan will be ready. And then from there, it's the World Cup.
Perfectly said. So guys, this was Ibrahim Yusuf with me, a very good deep analyst. Whenever he joins my show, I have a lot of questions, and the video goes around 15 or 20 minutes because we have a lot to cover. He joins very rarely, but when he comes, I have a lot to debate about. I will keep you updating about, and Ibrahim will keep us joining. Please do like his channels and blogs as well. EB Talk Sports or EB Sports?
EB Sports Talk.
EB Sports Talk, his channel names along with his blog. Please do subscribe. It's my request for all the viewers who are watching right now. So whenever I put the video, so his channel will get some also response very good. I will keep him inviting in different shows as he possesses a very good cricketing knowledge, very good cricketing brain, and a lot of predictions are up to the mark and straight like whatever he says. Till our next video, take care. Allah Hafiz.
Assalamu alaikum.
Allah Hafiz.